Unbelievable! This is
The Grove Podcast.
Hello, my name is Tabs and welcome to episode 132 of The Grove Podcast. Now, I hope you're all doing very well, and yeah, it's yet another good day to be an Arsenal fan. Something I hope to be saying on a frequent occasion on these podcasts. And even if that wasn't the most exhilarating of performances, there's still a lot of joy to be taken from the result, and also a lot of joy to be taking the results of our supposed competitors. And joining me today to bring joy to your ears is Ian, aka Ask Cannon Picks. Ian, how are you? And how fearful are you of our fellow title challengers spoiling our hopes and dreams? And by fellow title challengers, I mean Bournemouth and Sunderland, of course.
I'm good, Tabs. Thanks very much. Yes, it's never mind Haaland and Salah and Isak. It's Granit Xhaka and Semenyo we need to be worried about at the moment. But yeah, I'm good. I'm looking forward to having a chat about the game. And yeah, what a weekend of results for the Arsenal.
No, indeed it was. And unfortunately, Everton didn't do their bit. They didn't get the memo, but we won't worry about that.
Yeah, or Brighton. Brighton didn't do us any favours either.
No, indeed. So, yeah, but I'm not worried about any of those two clubs either way. So let them have their fun for a few minutes. Anyway, so in today's show, we'll review yesterday's 1-0 win over Crystal Palace with the usual stuff that we do, but also we'll continue with our new feature, which is our listeners and followers 3-word reviews of the game. A bit of fun that we thought we'd add to the pod, a bit of engagement. And even though some of the Grovers from the WhatsApp group are having trouble with the concept of 3 words, not 4. Hey, Normie, Moz, I'm looking at you here. And then we'll finish with a preview of Sunday's Premier League game. No. Sorry, that's last week's notes. God a minute. So we'll finish with a preview of the Wednesday's EFL Cup game against Brighton. This Wednesday evening. So before we do that, as always, if you can give us a bit of a follow, subscribe, leave a nice little rating, a comment on the usual podcast apps, that's greatly appreciated. It helps gets this into the ears of the uninitiated and the people who aren't as fortunate as yourself. So if you can do that, it'll be really good. I do notice the numbers going up and the number of subscribers. So yeah, it doesn't go unnoticed. So much appreciated. Anyway, enough of that. Let's get on with the show. And as always, as we kick off, Ian, what would you say was your highlight and low light from yesterday's victory against Palace?
Yeah, I'm just going to pick the obvious and boring ones. My highlight is Eze getting his first Premier League goal, which is a huge thing. Like, he'll probably be a little bit gutted that it was against his old club. Maybe not, but I'd say he would have preferred it to be against somebody else. But it's great to get him off the mark. I know he scored already for us, but this is his first league goal, and I think that's an important step. So that was a big highlight, especially his Kung Fu Panda impression to get the goal. He learned from his shot against West Ham that he ballooned over the bar. And yeah, my low light was the injuries. It's especially the Rice injury. I hope that's nothing, because that looked kind of muscular and potentially 3 or 4 weeks, and he's such an important player for us that I like. All of them are important, obviously, but Rice is just such an integral part of who we are. So that was my low light, was the injuries.
Yeah, and well, I think great minds, as they say, think alike. My low light again were the injuries, and you might have seen better than me. I thought, and from what I've heard, I thought the Rice one was actually a knock. But then again, he was coming off sort of, I think, holding his knee or the muscle around his knee. So yeah, we still, there's been no news on it. I haven't seen any news or updates. I think the only good thing about it is, I say good thing, there's no good thing, but it's like, we've got EFL Cup action, and we'll talk about that. Then we've got Burnley away. Then we've got Slavia Prague away, and we've got Sunderland away. So if you're going to miss some players some of the time, this is the time to do it.
Yeah,
and this is the time maybe we can manage, but there does get to a point where if you have Odegaard out, Havertz out, Madueke out, Rice out, there was also Calafiori, there was also Saliba, there was also Saka. I think Saka was more illness than injury. at some point, the quality drops, and then it levels the playing field a bit, and then back to variance. But if there's a moment to have it, and maybe this is part of the season that we're having, that maybe those little things are falling our way. So if something bad is going to happen, we can mitigate it, or it's not as bad. Whereas last season we'd be going to face various teams, playing our under 21s. Again, we talk about the PSG bench and stuff like that. So maybe this year we don't have, if we're going to have these things happen, we're not playing those high tariff games. So, but we'll see. We'll wait to see the updates. And who knows? Let's not catastrophize, and let's focus on the positives.
It might not have been. It might not be as bad with Rice. It looked as though, and I could be wrong, just on TV, it looked like there was kind of somebody in the way of the physio, but it looked like he was holding the back of Rice's leg, as feeling the kind of the back. But it could have easily been that he was holding his knee, and so I couldn't fully see. It just looked a little bit.
Yeah, I think we're all scarred.
Scarred
for quite some time. So let's see. And yet, like you, my highlight, I would say, rather than it being Eza, it's scoring from another set piece, and finding a way to win. And we'll sort of touch more on the Eza and the set piece aspects of this game a bit later, as we sort of go through the moments. But so my highlight, scoring from another set piece again, and you could just hear the seething, the heads boiling away, and all the rest of it. Another set piece goal, but who gives a monkeys about them, right? So in terms of the lineup for the game, I think once we found out that Big Gabby was fit, no real surprises. So you have Raya, Timber, Saliba, Gabriel Calafiori at the back, Rice, Zubimendi, Eza in midfield, and Trossard, who seems to be the Premiership left winger, Gyökeres and Saka. So maybe Nelly might have started after that Atletico performance, but it feels like Trossard is getting the pick for the Prem games, and maybe it's the fact that we're playing in partnership. So you have Trossard and Calafiori, or you have Nelly and MLS. Any thoughts on the lineup? Are you hoping for anything different, or?
Yeah, no, I thought that, exactly as you said, I thought that Martinelli might have had a really good chance to start, because he was brilliant. He was excellent against Atletico Madrid. His best game for Arsenal in a long time. But it goes to show the difference between football managers, Premier League managers, and fans, because I thought, not that I thought he would definitely start Martinelli, but Trossard starts, and Trossard's probably our best player yesterday. I thought Trossard was excellent, and these are the calls that the managers make, and Arteta got it right again. So other than that, I was very happy, very happy. I was delighted Big Gabby started, obviously, as well, because there was doubts over him. But happy enough with it.
He's so important, Big Gabby, in defence and attack. Both ends, and he showed that yesterday. And ironically enough, Nelly, when he came on, actually didn't play that well.
He was,
and even then, he might have had an injury himself. It felt like he was something might have happened towards the end. But his cameo at the end wasn't that great. Wasn't up to his usual cameo standards. So it's odd how these things vary, and how they think differ game to game.
Yeah.
So as to the stats around the game, the game itself, again, as we all saw, we all witnessed, it wasn't the most exhilarating, chance-ridden, full game, for want of a better word. We had 0.92 xG to their 0.45. I mean, we had 10 shots, 3 of which were on target. They had 7. Only 1 on target, and that's the blemish on our copybook, unfortunately. But we had 2 big chances. We missed them both. Even then, there was only 17 fouls across the whole game. 6 for us, 11 for Palace, and 4 corners to their 3. And I think our first corner was actually in the second half, so they did well to steer clear of that. But I mean, and in terms of the stats, especially Palace's ones, only 0.45. Palace actually have been the highest XG team this season. I think it's up in the 4s or the 5s. The fact that they only came and got 0.45, I mean, they couldn't lay a finger on us. It just shows, again, 2 things. One, how good we are defensively, and not just the back 4 or 5. It's from the front and then in the midfield, and then so they couldn't get anywhere near us. But also it goes to show what sort of game they were planning to play. They came with a 5-4-1. They came set up just to counter and just to nullify us, nullify our passing lanes, nullify our attack down the wings. Anytime Saka or Timber got the ball out wide, or even Calafiori, there was like 2-3-on-1, and yeah, you could just so clearly see it from the stands. That they were just keeping it tight and going for the block, so they were never So, and again, this is what's happening. Teams are coming up and they don't want to attack us because they just know what's going to happen. They just know, and you see it in Europe where it's a bit more open. We can tear teams apart. We can take them to task, and yeah, they come set up, and even like the likes of City, we forced them into that way. Liverpool, we forced them to play a game that they weren't playing, and we saw Fulham and Palace. That's what they come and do, because they just know, that we can tear them apart, give them the chance. So what were your overall thoughts, on the game, on our performance, how the match went?
Well, to caveat what I say by first saying that I didn't see the game live. I was at a birthday party, an ill-timed birthday party, but I did watch the whole game when I got home. After that, I watched it last night. Now, and that's a different experience, as we know, because when you've won, it's a very different emotional experience. So I was able to watch it much calmer than I normally would. So based on that, I felt as though we controlled the game from start to finish. As you said, Palace are really, really well organised, and they're an excellent team. We know that. They have an excellent manager as well, who's very, very tactically adept. But at no point did I think they looked really dangerous. I know they get in once or twice, but the form Raya is in and the form our defenders are in, they never looked like they were going to score. And even some of the times they got in, the flag went up. In the first half, they had a shot that was saved well by Raya, but the flag goes up. So I thought it was an excellent performance by us. Like, we didn't create as much as I'd like to us to have created, but again, as you said, that's down to them being very tactically astute, and it's just a really, really good 3 points, and 3 points that we didn't get in the same fixture last season. So I was happy. Like, it wasn't the best game in the world, we know that, but these are the games we need to tick off. These are the ones that we need to win ugly.
No, absolutely, and you're right that watching it, knowing we've won, so you take the emotion out, because again, 20 minutes to go, it's 1-0. The crowd were nervous, antsy, but again, if you watch it without that, Palace created nothing.
No,
Even
they
the
didn't.
last 20 minutes, there was nothing. And look, there's this one stat from when we scored to the one attempt on target. Now that attempt on target was a cross which flicked off Eddie Nketiah's head.
Yeah.
And then Rare got it. So it wasn't even like a proper attempt on target.
Yeah.
And those 30 minutes between the goal and that, they not only did they not get a shot off, they didn't actually get into our penalty area. So so it just goes to show sort of the intent that it had, but again our defensive strength, and it just goes to show the game, but also that bit about the emotion. If you think about that, it's like, well, where's the danger? Yes, Mateta's dangerous. It's based on reputation, based on what we see, but then we're really good defensively. So what about our reputation and what we see week in out? So it's just, again, we want it so much. We can see it happening. Football's stupid. It's 1-0. Anything can happen. But it's but again, in the cold light of day, like you were watching, you're going, well, where's the drama? Why is everyone worried?
Yeah, we're all our own worst enemies when we're watching our football team play, because you just think that every little bit of attack is like 100 times more dangerous than it actually is, because it's just inbuilt into you that we're going to concede. But when you're watching it, knowing it, you can actually just say, "Oh my God, we were so not under threat. We had everything under control." And the boys put in another fantastic performance in that way.
And look, it was post Europe midweek for both teams.
Yeah,
we had some players that just weren't quite at it. I mean, Saka was definitely not 100% fit. I think apparently he was ill, and we could see he came off early. you know, we don't do that normally. So something must have been up. And yeah, sometimes you just got to grind it out and win ugly. As a Palace offered no real attacking threat, but they left no space for us to exploit. And so, you know, people complaining, oh God, where's the free flowing football? What it's boring. But you know, again, we can only play what's in front of us, but also we're a bit off it. We couldn't build much momentum. Yes, we could have killed the game off in the second half, or early in the second half, got that second, and maybe would have meant Palace opened up. You know, and we had a few nearly moments, but poor execution. But yes, I think we said credit to Palace, who nullified a lot of what we wanted to do, especially out wide. They sacrificed their solidity for their attacking prowess. And look, very few games are easy in the Premiership now. You know, and if you look at the weekend's results, you've got Liverpool losing to Brentford, you've got Chelsea losing at home to Sunderland, Villa beating City. So, you know, we found a way. People might complain and you get the pundits saying this, that, and the other, but which one would you prefer, the 3 points or losing 2-1 or 3-2? Oh, there's your excitement, but where's your points? And you know, and I actually had a fun weekend because a double whammy. I was at the Brentford Liverpool game. You know,
Excellent.
I'm a member there. I got friends who are season ticket holders. You know, my folks live in that area, so I was sort of like, triple whammy there. And it was a great in-person hate watch to be there, and I was celebrating the Brentford's goals like as an Arsenal fan would, and to see how Liverpool performed and how their fans were feeling and stuff. You say, whose position would you rather be in? And actually, Liverpool, I couldn't figure out what their style of play was, apart from give it to Jones and Slobbersley. Yeah, they looked poor. They looked not at it. And Brentford tactically had a great game plan against them. You know, you turn their defense around. Van Dijk doesn't want to run back. Konate can't run back, and they could not find a way to win, as much as the referees gave them as much time as possible to get back in the game. They couldn't find a way. So again, you can't knock that. It's not always going to be spectacular, and you just got to take the points. And
if you sorry to cut across, if you look
no,
at any, and I'm not saying that we're going to go on and win the league or anything like that, there's just so long to go, such a long way to go, but if you look at any title winning team, be it City, be it Liverpool last season, be it Mourinho's Chelsea, there are always kind of 10 plus games where they win games in this exact manner. They just grind out wins, they just do it not pretty, but they just get the job done. That's what championship winning teams do, and for any team to kind of criticize a team doing it is just pure jealousy.
Yeah, and then to provoke and the usual sort of fans banter and stuff like that. But it's what happens when you're playing 2-3 times a week, playing the intensity, the Premiership, you know, and you get it. And you're right. Seasons are full of these sort of games that you instantly forget. And I'm happy that if you win the league and you can't remember any of the games, that's fine by me, because it just means we got in there, job done, very professional. I think professional is a very good word here as well to use for the team. Just go in and I said, we're finding a way. It's sort of a bit like death by 1,000 cuts. You know, you're just probing, you're pushing, and the opposition have to focus and concentrate so much for so long, and that is really hard to do. That's really hard to do, and it may be not as relentless as it was against Atletico, but it was just still there. You know, you're still pushing away. We've got the ball, and they're just having to shuttle left, right. They have to stay concentrated for so long. And you got players like Gyökeres who, okay, fine, didn't score, didn't do a great deal, but just occupying. You're just always thinking, and it's just we must be an absolute nightmare to play against. And when you ever hear about managers talking about Arsenal, you know, Simeone midweek, best team they faced this year. You know, you get Glasner praising us. We've had Frank, you know, when he was Brentford praising us. You know, the people in the know when they play us, it's the hardest game that they're ever going to play. So they're the people you listen to, not the idiots on TalkSport and the rest. So in terms of like the key moments and looking at that, there aren't a great deal, to be honest. You know, okay, you had I think the first thing that happened 23 minutes was Sarr got a shot blocked by Gabriel, and I had a look at that this morning. It was a great. It was sort of encapsulated a bit of our performance yesterday. Zubi misplaced a pass, ended up with Sarr getting a shot off, but there's Gabriel to block it. Trossard had a shot in the 34th minute, but near post. It wasn't really troubling Henderson, and you'd expect him to save it. But then Eza gets his goal. It's 1-0 to Arsenal in the 38th minute. We get a free kick, sort of central towards the right. Rice, again, another great delivery. Big Gabby heads it back to the edge of the box, and Eze with his kung fu kick. And in the stadium, you didn't realise how good a finish it was. But when you see it on TV, it's like, wow, that is quality. To get your head over the ball, to leap up, to finish, it's a fantastic finish. And how did you think Eze performed yesterday? You know, I think I was a bit concerned. It's Palace. It might be a bit emotional. You know, Declan Rice hasn't performed when playing against West Ham at the Emirates. You know, so how did you think Eze played yesterday?
I thought he showed signs of real quality in parts. Like, I don't think he was amazing, but I thought he played well. I thought he was solid, and he showed some of the skills that he's shown for Palace. He played like a player who's not long in a club and is kind of still getting used to the players around him, and probably playing in a position like I don't think the plan was for Eze to be playing there, like kind of in the Odegaard role. Obviously, we're very lucky not to have Odegaard at the moment, but I don't think that's where he was expecting to play. But I thought he was solid. He took his goal really, really well, and again, he did a little bit of a slalom run as well, where one of the Palace defenders came in and made a good tackle. It made me very excited to see him in another 10 games time, if that makes sense. Like, he's building.
Yeah.
His performance is up, and yeah, I thought he was good.
And I think we said this in the last pod. He's not used to having to play against low blocks.
Yeah,
he played for Palace, and they'd always have space to run into. It'll be very different. He'll be part of the counter-attacking team, and it'll be dangerous from that perspective. But he's not used to this. So again, he's learning that. He's learning the team. You're right. He's playing in a position on the right-hand side where he's more left side biased, and I think better from the left-hand side.
Yeah.
So if he was playing left 8, run right 8.
Yeah, and he was when he was playing with Palace, basically, I'd say every Palace player was told, just give the ball to Eze, let him take the ball and do his thing. Whereas, like, there's so many players as good as, if not better than Eze in the Arsenal lineup. So, yeah, it's just going to take a bit of getting used to decide. But yeah, I'm very excited to see what he brings further down the line.
Absolutely, and he's the first player to score his first league goal for Arsenal against the club he signed from since Donald Slade. I know you're a bit old, but you're not old enough to know this. In February 1914 versus Lincoln City.
I was at that game.
Nice one. Do you get your ticket on the TX? Well done, you. And also, I think I've heard this correct on Match Today last night. He's the 9th different player to score. We've had, in the last 9 goals, we've had 9 different players score, which again is a nut stat. And so, like, you got the teams like relying on. Well, look at City yesterday, relying on. I've forgotten his name. Haaland. Haaland. He doesn't score, and look, they don't win the game, don't get a point. Liverpool, relying on. Okay, Salah did score, but it didn't help them much. But so yeah, we're spreading our goals around, which I think is it gives you more chance for success rather than relying on just one person, because that's all your eggs in one basket. And it was another set piece goal, and I have a question for you. So, on a scale of I don't give a fuck and I couldn't care less, where do you stand on Arne Slot's and rival fans' comments on our set piece goals? It seems we are boiling a lot of people's piss by being really good at the fundamental part of the game. Now, that might sound familiar.
Yes, to listeners of the Artcast, that's a question I sent in to Andrew, and they read it out, and yeah, like, I mean, I'm highly far up on that scale of I don't give a fuck. It's hilarious, the snobbery that people are showing towards set pieces. Like, it's such, as I said in the question, such a fundamental part of football. And just because we're really, really good at it, it's annoying people. And I think you said it before. You might have even put it in the notes for today's show that if we scored like we've 29 games left. If we won 1-0 by scoring 29 set piece goals, I would laugh my ass off forever. So yeah, do you know what? Like Arne Slot has kind of embarrassed himself in a few in a few post match interviews recently, but for him to bang on about set pieces when Liverpool, like, he completely ignored that Liverpool beat us with a set piece, beat Burnley with a set piece at the death.
Came back against Frankfurt. 2
Yeah,
set piece goals.
I mean, it's pot kettle black and all that kind of stuff. It's hilarious, but yeah, I mean, you put out a great. I'll push it back onto you because you put out a great kind of post, I think, on Blue Sky about, how good you have to be. I'll let you read it out. Actually, it starts off, the set piece snobbery is unreal. Go on.
Yeah, yeah. I posted that, and it was sort of also Princess Guna, who's been on this pod. She was sort of talking about it on her timeline. I responded like, the set piece snobbery is unreal. It's just envy and done to provoke, done to deflect. A perfectly executed set piece is a thing of beauty. A plan coming together, the timing, the delivery, the movement. It's not luck. It's not easy. It's not hit and hope. It comes from hard work, skill, and preparation. And and that was talking after the first goal, the Gabriel goal against Atletico. And when you see it coming together like that, again, I don't understand the snobbery. I don't understand why set pieces are so bad, such a thing that you can't score from them, because they're very skillful things. It's not the easiest thing to do. And then they also talk about, set pieces are not sustainable, and I don't understand why, because you get free kicks, corners, throw-ins all the time. So if there's something that you see all the time, why not practice the opportunity that you're going to get? And I would suggest that actually open play goals are less sustainable because they're open to more variance, more randomness
Yeah.
than a set piece, and you can't practice that so much because you don't know what the opposition player is going to do so much. Just so many more variables to an open play goal so and it makes the snobbery makes it sound it's easy. Well, if it was easy, everyone would be bloody doing it, and it's just done to provoke and just done, as I said, out of envy, and so long may it would continue. As I said, if we win every game now for the next 29, 1-0 with a set piece, I'm here for it all week. And again, the people in the know, you talk to Frank, you talk to any other manager, you say, oh, do you, apart from Ange Postecoglou, would you want to be really good at set pieces and have that in your locker should you need it? They'll all go yes. So it's just it doesn't make any sense. And at the end, I'll come on to a bit more about this because the BBC were provoking. And
And
it's just a bit of it's just
and it's
we
not
shouldn't
as
react.
Yeah, it's not as though we are just getting the ball and like lumping it 30 yards into the sky and it's dropping in the box and we're just hoping that, there's a melee and we get the ball in the back of the net. Like when Declan Rice takes his free kicks, he's taking them the way David Beckham used to take them, and people lauded David Beckham for like having his right foot was a wand. But an Arsenal player does it and it's just luck. Like they are Declan Rice's free kicks are unbelievable. How he places them literally on a sixpence to where the set piece has been practiced. And for the Arsenal players, you see them on corners, especially doing where they're all starting past the far post and they run in. This is all like it's. I'm gonna get laughed at for saying this, but it's almost like a work of art, like the way they do it.
It's performance,
That's what it's all about. But yeah, look, long may it continue.
No, I think it's a work of art, a performance. I think there is a performative element to it. Why we sometimes take a long time over corners or over free kicks, because it adds a bit of uncertainty or builds the tension in amongst the defender or what they're doing. I mean, I'm even joking with the guy who sits next to me in the stadium, Russell, that when Gabriel goes over to Declan Rice, they're not talking about the corner. So, you coming out for dinner tonight? Yeah. See you at 7:30? Yeah. But everyone doesn't know that. So I just think they're having a chat and make what are they talking about? Do I no, they're just making dinner plans. And and it's just it's part of the performance. And also, why do you think we get corners in dangerous corners in dangerous positions. Sorry, corners, throw-ins in dangerous positions, free kick in dangerous positions. We're not doing it because we're doing it because we're attacking, and our attacks are getting stopped, or we're getting a corner. And we don't play for corners. It's not. We aren't playing for corners. You might let the ball roll out because you think, well, actually, I've got a better chance if I let the ball roll out than trying to keep it in and all the rest of it. Or same with the throwing. But we don't deliberately play for corners and stuff. We don't sort of run there, hope player comes in and kick it off them. So, but again, the reason we have so many of the opportunities is because we're attacking and because someone's stopping us from attacking. So if you're going to stop us playing the free-flowing football, stopping us playing the open play stuff, more for you, because we've now got our set pieces. So
and why shouldn't a team who for the most part are in the opposition's final third a lot more than the opposition is in ours, why wouldn't they? Like, they're inevitably going to get lots of corners and throw-ins and set pieces in the final third. Why wouldn't you practice that? If you're getting a high volume of those, like, of course you just wouldn't you add that string to your bow? Like, it's just makes sense.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And look, we've got to enjoy it while it can, because last season when Gabriel came out, we stopped scoring. So, we are a bit reliant on them. But again, it's perfect for the game like yesterday. We had to find a way, and that was the way. So yeah, I'm here for it all day, all night. So then the second half, not a huge amount really happened. I think there was it started off with Saliba going off Mascara on. I don't know. We don't know what happened. Could you tell? Was it noticeable that he was, from how he ended the first half, that something was going to happen?
No, and because I knew that Saliba went off at half time, I was watching it. I was actually watching the last 5 minutes of the first half, like looking at Saliba, seeing if I could notice him. I was doing the same for Declan Rice as well, to be honest. But there was nothing obvious. No, he seemed in the whole first half, and especially the last 5 minutes, he seemed fine. And I was scratching my head as to why he went off. But hopefully it's just that, look, he said, I feel something. And they just took him off as a precaution because we now have the players in the squad to do that. So yeah, I didn't notice anything.
Okay, and Mascara came on, and he was. You just didn't notice the difference.
Yeah,
he was superb. Again, I guess it wasn't the most taxing of games, but Mateta, if Mateta was going on to him and stuff like that, it's still not the easiest again for someone so young. But there was no drop off.
No.
We did have a chance almost to finish off the game. It would have killed the game. We had that free kick, sort of a short corner, more or less from the left. But Rice takes it short and put it in. Comes back to him, cross at the back post, and Big Gabriel smacks his head off the crossbar. Falls back to Rice. He gets his shot away, and that's well saved by Henderson. The crowd are going, oh, and then oh, and then it comes out to Saka, who does his atypical curling, comes in, cuts inside shot, and that just went right. And if anything had gone in there, that was game over. But it wasn't to be. And then in the 58th, again, Gabriel showing his skills with his feet, and a nice pass over the top to Trossard. Just couldn't get it under control. Dinked it beyond the goalkeeper, and Guehi cleared before Saka could get to tap it in. And then there was a bit of a scare in the 68th minute where Gabriel again hit the post, but with another ball, should I say? That seemed quite painful. But yeah, wasn't able to turn it in the far post. And yeah, I mean,
Gabriel is so good at set pieces. He's capable of hitting the post with two balls at the same time.
Exactly. So yeah, that looked a bit painful, but yeah, you could see why he was on the ground for some time. So so yeah, then we, as I said, then the 70th minute was that one shot in inverted commas, and again another amazing stat. I think that was we'd conceded 0.00 xG on target for over 300 minutes before that Nketiah touch on the head, and that's sort of like that's in the Premier League. That's just crazy.
How they can decipher that was a shot on target is beyond me.
I have no idea, but again, it's just and again, I'm hoping now. So you get these sort of stats like that, not allowing shots on target. We haven't let in a goal for the last 5 games, in league and Europe, and we have that aura. So like teams wouldn't would go to City and say, well, okay, well, we're not going to get anything out of here, so let's just save ourselves for more important games. And now I'm wondering, hopefully, we'll have the same aura where they think, gee, how are we just going to score against these lot? What are we going to do? Let's, you know, so again, they think, oh, let's not bother. Let's save ourselves for other games. Whereas now you're seeing, you know, City are vulnerable, Liverpool are vulnerable. So, okay, well, those games were more likely to. Whereas in the past, we were the vulnerable ones. And if you put us under pressure, we have. So I'm hoping the more these stats come up, the more these teams come up, the more it gets into the psyche of us. But even the set pieces, all right, we won't foul them. Great, then we'll take you apart another way, you know. So I'm hoping that we'll have that bit. There was like Villa 2 years ago or last year when Emery just turned up with his reserve team, and yeah, maybe again these soft factors that maybe just show this season things might fall our way. I'm hoping for that. Then we make a few subs. Marino and Hincapié come on for Rice and Calafiori, and then Eze off and MLS on, and we went to sort of 5 at the back. So interesting, but obviously just shutting the game down. And then there was another, 97th minute when the final whistle eventually went. The crowd were getting quite antsy with the ref at that stage, but again, as you said, there was nothing to be concerned about, and it was game over. And let me read out some names because this goes to show. I think this proves a very good point. Saka, Saliba, Rice, Eze, Calafiori, and Odegaard, Havertz, and Madueke, and we finished the game without any of those people on the pitch. And that is it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8. That's like 3/4 of a team, and you could argue that all of them could be starters. People want the fast, free-flowing football, but we also want to win, and sometimes you just got to make do with the players that you have and do what you can. But that's incredible that we can, again, survive a game against one of the most dangerous teams in the league without all those players, and we found a way to win. And look, even Arteta knew it. He said we knew the difficulty of it. You come after playing every 3 days, you have a bigger opportunity as well with the things that happened during this weekend, and we play against a team that, in my opinion, has been one of the best recently in terms of organisation, how difficult they made it, how frustrated they can make it. And the moment that you lose that concentration, they will punish you for sure. We have managed to be very stable, playing the game that we have to play. So, yeah, how do you feel then? How that sort of sets us up now? That sort of 9 games in, we're top of the league, 22 points. 6 above City on 16, and 7 above Liverpool. Man United. I'm not even mentioning the name on 15. How are you feeling about our current situation and hopes for the future?
Yeah, you cannot be unhappy with our current position, as in points total. I'm not one to get too carried away. I'll put it to you this way: if this was, if we had played 32 games and we were 6 points ahead of City, I know we're only 4 ahead of Bournemouth, but if we're all being honest, it's kind of City that we're looking at, and Liverpool maybe if they make a comeback. But even if we had 5 or 6 games left and we were 6 points ahead, I'd still be very, very nervous. So the fact that we're 6 points ahead of City with only 9 games gone, I'm not getting ahead of myself. But if you just break it down to each game, how we've performed and how we've gotten these points together, considering who we've played, I think we've done a sensational job. We were robbed at Anfield, absolutely robbed at Anfield, and we kind of played within ourselves at home to City, I think. But the big one is that the 9 points that we've made up from the corresponding fixtures last season. That's what really, really made me think, right, okay, Arteta is righting the wrongs here, and if he can continue that across the season, we drew 14 games. I said this on a pod at the start of the season that we lost the same amount of games as Liverpool last season, 4, which it's hilarious that Liverpool have already lost that many after 9 games this season. It was the 14 draws that kind of killed us last season, and we're righting those wrongs now, and that's really, really exciting me, and I hope that trend continues. And we need to perform so well, because there are periods, like you're saying, the next few games we have are, on paper, we should do the business. We've Burnley in the Premier League. We've Burnley away, and we Sunderland away. Now Sunderland away will be very, very tough because obviously they're fourth in the league at the moment. But then there are other patches where we're going to be playing. We play Spurs at home, Chelsea away.
Bayern Munich midweek as well.
Bayern Munich midweek of those two.
And that's straight after the international break.
Yeah. So there are going to be periods where you would think we could drop points. So it's so important to take advantage of the points we dropped last season in terms of playing the smaller teams, and we seem to be doing that, and that gives me great hope. That really does.
Yeah. No. Indeed. Well, look, after this weekend's results, I think Opta have said we've got a 66.35% chance of winning the league. So that's and I think we're the bookies favourites, and as they say, you don't see a poor bookie. So look, I think we're well set. We're doing what we can, and maybe the Liverpool result, galvanised us in a way, and showed us something. So we get a point there, and then we don't get something somewhere else. So often the butterfly effect is ignored. In these things. So I think we are where we are, as a result of everything that's gone so far. And look, we got the best goal difference as well in terms of goal for. We've got 16, and then Tottenham and City have got the highest with 17. So even our goal difference is giving us that extra point if it ever if it needed that, and I really hope it doesn't, and I don't expect it to. Just one league table that. God, the BBC put together after the game. Here's the Premier League table if only open play goals counted. It's utter nonsense. And it's like City top with 18 points after 9 games, then Liverpool, then Tottenham, Bournemouth, and Arsenal. So even then we're only 3 points off the top. But it's just such nonsense. It's like saying, how many points Roger Federer would have won, or matches would he won if his aces didn't count, or rugby matches. How many rugby matches would England have won if Johnny Wilkinson's penalties didn't count? It's just such meaningless drivel, and I don't know if I expect more from the BBC these days, but it's as we've just discussed. There's only one table that matters, and that's the Premier League table, and we're bossing it. We're bossing it at the moment. So and look, not only we're scoring set pieces, and we are scoring goals, and blah blah blah. People call us boring. Well, it ignores one other fact. There's that, and I think was it Ferguson said that I think it was Alex Ferguson that defenses win championships and attacks win matches. Well, we've got the most amazing defense. We're breaking records all the time. So Arsenal have conceded 3 goals this season. That's the best defensive record after 13. Well, it was after 12 games and after 13 games in our history. In terms of goals conceded, we're ranked first. XG against, we're first. Clean sheets, we're first. Shots faced, we're first. On target faced, we're first. The stats are just nonsense.
Incredible. And of the 3 goals that we've conceded, only one of them was from open play.
Yeah. Exactly.
Insane. Absolutely insane.
Yeah. So it's just we just so solid. It must demoralize opposition just coming up, and there's that. You just come into the tunnel and you see our defense, and it's like, oh Jesus. Look, we will let in a goal at some time, and I'm not sure how I'm going to react to that. and I figure it's going to be on Wednesday. But and also another statistics, Arsenal have gone 100 consecutive games in all competitions without conceding 3 goals in a game. Just the second English league team to ever achieve this feat, along with Man United between October 2016 and August 2018. So that's 107. So we need to go another 8 more games to get that record.
I actually think if we conceded 3 goals in a game, Arteta would just start shooting players.
Yeah, exactly. He's leaving. I'm leaving. I'm gone.
I'm done.
What is this rubbish?
Project is over.
What is this rubbish? Yeah. So, before we get on to listener 3-word reviews, any other players that stood out for you or didn't stand out?
I thought Trossard was really good. I again just being able to watch, knowing that we won the game.
Was that intentional?
Say again.
Trossard, and then you get that's it again when you say Trossard. again.
Again. Yeah, it wasn't, but it is now. Trossard, I thought he was really, really good. Zubamendi is just. I mean, he's like Timber now. I think in that you just expect, and you shouldn't just sleep on these performances by these guys, because it's really hard to perform at a really high level all the time. So yeah, they really stood out. Who stood out for you?
Well, I mean, Timber again,
Yeah,
again, and again. Just week in, week out, he's 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10 performances. He's just so consistent, so impressive defensively, and now going forward. I mean, for me, he's the player of the season so far.
yeah,
But he's not a glamorous player. Doesn't get a huge amount of attention, and this isn't even a hipster's choice, But like I gave Marino the player of the season last year just as a bit of an alternative. But he doesn't. I don't care if he gets the recognition he deserves or whatever, but we know, Arteta knows, and again, people in the game know he's just so good and he's so important to the team. He must be a nightmare to play against defensively. I don't know. Has anyone actually run past him in a 1v1?
yeah.
And he's just always there. But he's not massively demonstrative. It's not like Calafiori that you can't miss him, or Gabriel.
Mm.
Things like that. So just
He's just
so good.
he's so strong as well. And
Yeah,
when you think he's lost the ball, he
yeah,
somehow comes out of a duel with the ball, and that's whether it's against one player or two
yeah,
players. There was a moment yesterday where he had three of them around him, and I
yeah.
thought he's just going to get overpowered here. And he started doing twists and turns, and he just came out with the ball at his feet. So I was like, what the hell? How's he doing this?
Yeah, he's good, and yeah, it's not even unsung hero, because they say we just know he's good. And he's just there. It's just like he's just set a standard for us. And maybe this is Zubimendi. It was interesting what you said, because I thought Zubimendi had his worst game for us yesterday. I mean, maybe okay. If I start on the positive side, I think defensively, he's still very good as our last midfielder.
Mm,
He shuts down danger really well. He anticipates really well. I just didn't think he reached his normal standards, but he set such high standards that
mm,
I felt he gave the ball away a bit. There was too many times, too many times. And maybe that's partly because Palace was shutting everything down, shutting the lanes down, so it was really, really, really tricky. So
mm.
maybe he kept on trying stuff, and eventually he stopped giving the ball away. But yeah, I was a bit in the ground. It just looked like he needed to be a bit more not secure, but just more accurate with his passes, or maybe choose better. But then again, if the pass isn't on, then we go around, then you got the horseshoe of death. So then you're sort of stuck in between. You're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't, because why don't you make the pass forward? He tries it and he gives it away. Why did you give the ball away? So you just
Yeah.
so it's a bit stuck. And then again, Gyökeres, again, it's like a lot of running, a lot of endeavour, occupying defenders, leading the press. He was 3v1 at times. You'd see it and it would be like 3v1. It's like, that's just so hard as a centre forward. So
Yeah.
he didn't have many opportunities. And I think he looked tired. I mean, he's played all the minutes of all the games. I think he needs a bit of a rest
Yeah.
to get his
He will
fitness up. But
he will benefit the most from Havertz coming back. Obviously,
yeah,
he won't like spending time on the bench, but I think he needs it. I think we all can see that he
yeah,
needs it.
yeah. And again, there's no concerns. Like, again, it's just tough. And he's I think he's doing a fantastic job. And as I said, even if he doesn't score, he's just occupying defenders,
Mm.
which should leave space for others. Now, when you're playing five at the back, that's a lot harder. But when they four at the back, we've seen it, like against Atletico and against other teams, that he makes a massive difference. So there we go. So that was our thoughts on the game, and now onto our sort of.
Can I just say one
Go on.
last thing about the game?
Yeah,
And this is a little bit cheeky and a little bit tongue in cheek, but
go
I
for
was
it.
I was a little bit worried about Mateta in this game, because
Oh,
he's had a fantastic start to the season. But I don't know if it was just me, just because of the size of him, and he wasn't great yesterday. I was getting major Akinfenwa vibes from him yesterday. He just looked kind of so out of place, and like he did kind of okay, but I was just going. And again, I had the benefit of knowing he didn't score and that he didn't really cause us any danger. But I just had to say that, had to get it off my chest.
no, and maybe that's us making him look like that than him, because
Yeah.
he scored. I think he's scored 5 this season.
Mm,
Should have actually scored 4 last week. No, he's a dangerous player. again, that's what our defense can do. We can make you look substandard.
Yes.
You know, sort of thing. So, and again, maybe he was a bit isolated when you go 4-5-1, and unless you're getting the team backing him up. And I think Sarr did a few times. I think the getting the second balls and Sarr coming through, there was a bit of danger there. But again, he didn't really pose any threat. We didn't give him a sniff, so it's fine. It's what we do to defenders.
Yes.
To attackers, we make them look like Akinfenwa. So anyway, onto your 3-word reviews of the game. So thank you for submitting those. So we had on Threads DDTNGCBB. I think needs to come up with maybe a more easier name. Tepid Injurious Grind. Yep. Duper DK. Flat 3 points. Yeah. Groovy Cathers 2. Banana Skin Averted. No, absolutely. I think Palace could have been dangerous for us. Akosa, stressful but rewarding. I think that was more for me than for you. And then Leg Puppy was read the papers, and I didn't quite understand what he meant. And he basically just meant just look at the top, look at the table in the newspapers. So old-fashioned way of looking at things, but yes, for sure. And then Retro Guna said top tier mentality, and I 100% agree with that. That's our professionalism shone through. On Blue Sky, we had Sid Silk, .bsky.social. Ezra does it. Ezra at B Sky Social. Never in doubt. Yeah, that's confident. Mac Logue, give them nothing. Yeah, 100%. And Aaron Canet Sneck, .B Sky Social. We were lucky. I'm not sure we were lucky. I'm trying to work out where the luck would be, but everyone sees what they see. North Bank, the North Bank pod. Steph, aka Steph, was as a does it, another one, and someone called Gianluca T14 said, "Mind the gap," and that certain person is my son. Actually, he sent me a message last week saying, "Oh, I like that idea. Yeah, I'll send you mine through and on WhatsApp." So no, you're gonna have to follow us on the socials and do it like everyone else. You're not getting any special treatment. So he's on the TikTok sending me that one. Dee's Arsenal fan account, set piece again, sure. And then you came up with Clean Sheet FC, which is FC. I'll give you that.
Yeah, I had to do a little dirty there.
Oh my god, the Grove are just terrible with that, and I'll get onto that in a second. Jamie of this parish said, did dirty work or dirty work done? Absolutely, this was definitely one of those games, and yeah, onto the Grove WhatsApp group. So thank you guys. Andy Leach was scrappy, dogged, essential. Yeah. Moz, I don't agree with this. Is don't bottle it. That's just such a. I don't know, he's in his 30s. Is that Gen Z? Such a Anyway, that's such a I'm not having that. Don't bottle it. Even if we lose it from now, it's not bottling it. It's just football. Matt Stacey said Leo. That's fine. We had Henry. I don't know what I was saying. I don't know what I was going to say. I don't know. It's just thinking Arsenal head on.
Thierry Henry's in the WhatsApp group.
Can you imagine? Oh my god. Henry. Not he's not French. Set piece again. Noel Mickedy. Mind the gap. Cern up the arse. Absolutely. Charles was ole. And then this was quite a good one. Andy Leach, remember game week 9. And I think that's sort of as in how important the swing was in terms of Liverpool losing, Chelsea losing, City losing, and us winning. And then we had people who just did not understand what 3 words is, which aren't 4 words. So Alistair was 1-0 set piece. No, that's 4 words. Normie was let it, all 1 word, all work out. I'm not having that. So he changed it back to we beat Palace. And Henri said 1-0 to Arsenal. So again, I'm not having that. And Moz, again, top of the league, apparently is now 1 word. So not having that, Moz. You've got to do better. And for me, it was grind it out. I think that just summed the game up for me. So thank you for those.
I've just realised I was looking here, and this is so stupid, but Charles from the group said ole, and I've just realised that that's an anagram of Leo. So when we say Trossard again, ole, it's
There we go.
Depending
Never
on...
knew that. Indeed. I thought you were going to say that's just one word 3 times.
No.
Does that count? Oh, and Darwit went 29, 29 games left or something. Sorry, Darwit. And so there became a discussion. Does 29 count as one word? But that's 2 words. Oh, for God's sake! Right, I'm allowing it. Numbers are allowed. Okay, numbers count as one
If
word.
FC is allowed, then numbers are allowed.
Yeah, I missed that one. I only just realised it now. But there we go. Anyway, thank you for those, and watch out for post Brighton for our next call out for those. Your 3-word reviews. Yeah, bit of fun. Right, okay. So talking of Brighton, we play them on Wednesday, the 29th of October, 7:45 kickoff at the Emirates Stadium. Samuel Barrett is the referee. It's the 4th round of the EFL Cup. Before we get on to the game itself, how important to you is this competition? How much do you care? Perennial discussion.
Yeah, I know. Like, it's a really good question because, look, we've been starved of the big prizes for so long now. The Premier League we haven't won in 20 years, over 20 years. We've never won the Champions League. So obviously they're our main objective. And even the FA Cup, I love the FA Cup. The League Cup, I've never really been like when I was younger, going back to the George Graham days, Arsenal became a cup team. It depends who you are. Arsenal became a cup team, and winning the FA Cup and the League Cup in the same season, we were the first team ever to do it. I was so proud of that. But football's changed so much, and I would never want Arsenal to lose a game ever. But if Arsenal did get knocked out by Brighton, like I'm not gonna cry over it. A cup is a cup, no matter which way you look at it, and should be taken and treated seriously. Maybe this season, because we have such a strong squad, we it's not such a burden to us. Like the Newcastle double header last season in February, was it February or no, January?
January,
Yeah. That kind of killed all momentum that we had. Like in the league, we weren't obviously up, like, or in the race for the league title, but I don't know. Maybe this season, because we have a much bigger squad, we can fully entertain the League Cup and not kind of worry too much about the effect it might have. But look, where do I sit on it? I'd love us to win it, but if we get knocked out on Wednesday, I'm not going to cry over it.
Yeah, I think, like you said, there was 2 games. I think 3 games that killed us last year. Palace away when we lost Saka.
Yeah.
And then the Newcastle semi-finals. I think it was the final nail in a coffin for the season. We had an already stretched squad. January just had stupid games. We were playing Man United in the FA Cup. We had 2 tough games against a highly motivated Newcastle. And there were 2 games I'm not sure we needed. We lost Havertz from that. Nelly was out for a while after that. But it was a semi-final. It was a chance to silverware, so you can't ignore it. So yeah, if you're there, you might then go for it full time. But for me at this stage, I'm not too bothered. As you said, it'll be annoying. It'll be annoying to lose because I don't like seeing us lose. And winning begets winning, the momentum, great atmosphere, blah blah blah. It also gives fringe players a chance to play and get minutes that they might not necessarily get. So, but in the bigger scheme, it is lowest on the priorities. Winning it would be great. It's always good. It'll be good fun. It'll be nice for the team. But in terms of the overall project, it doesn't change the dial at all, and would not make up for not winning one of the big 2 this season. You don't imagine we finish second and quarterfinals of Champions League. Oh, but we won the League Cup.
Yeah,
that would not cut it. That would not. I think it's like a supplementary icing on the cake. I mean, if it was so important, again, things like Ten Hag would still be in the job if they rated these sort of things. So that it is not an indicator of how good you are as a team. So there we go. So yeah, wouldn't knock it, but I wouldn't go all out at the expense of everything else.
No.
So what are you looking forward to? Not looking forward to as far as seeing Brighton at the Emirates on Wednesday?
I'm looking forward to the fringe players getting minutes. I think there's a lot of players that need minutes, and I think there's a lot of players who need rest. So I'm looking forward to seeing what kind of team is being put out, and I know we'll talk about what we think the team will be in a minute. But I'm looking forward to that. What am I not looking forward to? I don't know if I even have anything, because it's kind of a it's a low stress game because of the reasons we just said. We're not that pushed about it. Like I wouldn't. Another reason why I wouldn't like us to lose is just momentum. Like as you said, winning begets winning. So not looking forward to potentially kind of going out of the competition, despite what I just said, because we rested players. But like that's on a very low level that I'd be not looking forward to that.
Yeah, I think like you, see the fringe players get some minutes, seeing how we'll play, low stress, just sit back and enjoy it, and then see what happens.
Yeah.
Not looking forward to seeing Fabian Hertzler at the Emirates. I just don't like him. I think he's a disingenuous, smug prick, and I don't want to see him happy in the slightest. Yeah, just annoyed the hell out of me. I think last season with his comments after Declan Rice getting sent off, and then also the 2-1-1 games that we had against him last year, and look, he's just. I don't have any time for him at all, and I'm using nicer words than I want to use. So I think we'll rapidly move on. But he gets my goat, and I think he gets a lot of Arsenal fans' goat. So
Yeah.
So as you mentioned, chance for fringe players to play, which will mean the game's going to be a bit disjointed. There won't be the relationships there, but there's still going to be a lot of quality on the field. And so what do you think the lineup's going to be? I mean, we've got a number of injuries from the Palace game that we need to get updated from. May even mean academy players are in the squad. So what do you reckon the starting 11 is going to be? And before you give yours, I tried to do this and I could only get 10 players, which is remarkable given what we're talking about our squad. I couldn't work out who the 11th player was going to be. But anyway, let me know who you think is going to be playing.
Yeah, I'm just looking at your notes here, and you might not be a million miles off. Arteta does have a tendency to still play some, especially in defence, play some first team players. Now, with Saliba potentially having a knock, and with Big Gabby, being a doubt for the last game, maybe he like now's not the time to play either of those. But I like what you've put here. Like Kepa will start for sure. Ben White will start. Mosquera will start. You have Hincapié kind of playing. I'm guessing in the left centre back position, is it?
Yeah. Left centre back.
I think he'll play left back. But then who plays in centre half? Like it could be maybe what you're saying. It could be Calafiori or Hincapié playing there, and then either Hincapié or MLS left back. He'll definitely play Norgard. Manieri will start. I wouldn't be surprised if Marino plays up front.
So then who's the third midfielder? This is where I struggled because I think Gyökeres needs the rest.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I think if he does play Marino up front, what you have there, you've Norgard, Wanyeri, and Eze. Now I know Wanyeri and Eze will play in the same position, but could Eze move over to the Declan Rice position and Wanyeri play the Odegaard position? That would be where I would go with it. And then take your pick between Trossard and Martinelli. Probably Martinelli. And Marino up front. Is that 11?
This is the thing. Well, okay, so you got Kepa, White, Mosquera, Hincapié, MLS. So those are the back five.
That's 5, yeah.
You got Norgard, Ranieri, so that's 7. Now I've had a thought, and I think maybe Merino starts in midfield, so that's 8, and then you got Nelly, Trossard, and I can't. Oh yeah, so I think maybe Trossard up front, Nelly on the left. Eze's got to play. I think Eze plays. So then Whenery, so basically, either Eze's playing in the 10, so Whenery on left. So it'll be Kepa, White, Mosquera, Hincapié, MLS, Norgard, Eze, Marino, Trossard, Nelly, Whenery.
Would he play Dauman on the right somewhere?
You can't start Dauman. He's
15.
Because
it's midweek or it's something.
Well, no, it's not. It's not the midweek. No. It's not because he's a school kid. Because he's at home and it'll be fine. No, because he's 15. Okay, and so putting him on and to play from the off, even just 45 minutes of football at this level,
it'd be a lot. Yeah,
against men is a lot. Because then it could even get to 30 minutes and he's like, I'm absolutely buggered here.
Yeah,
and then you don't want to be taking him off after 30. So that's why you'd always bring him on towards the end when other players are tiring, blah, blah, blah. To start him, I did think about that. I just think to start him this level, has he got the ability to do it? Because again, it's not the physical ability, it's also the mental thing. And I think this is what Wineri maybe so it's just to be mentally switched on it, and that can fatigue you just as much as your leg. And actually, in a way, running around is what you used to, and you train for that. The mental fatigue just would wear you out. And I think Wineri was guilty of that last year. He'd be switching off in games a bit, and he just can't consistently keep that going on. So I think I think it's a good shout, but no, he would be more of a finisher. He'll get 30 minutes, like he got 20-30 minutes against Port Vale. So I think that's it. So yeah. So I think of the team that started on Sunday, I think Eza starts, and Wineri will be out left. So
fast forward to Wednesday when Saliba, Gabriel, Saka, Gyökeres all start.
And Declan Rice, wheel them out in their wheel them out in the wheelchairs and their crutches and stuff. Yeah,
and the Arsenal fan base go into meltdown.
Yeah, but we want to win a trophy. We're taking this seriously,
right?
Yeah,
that's true. That's true.
Yeah. All right, and well, some of them will be on the bench. And in terms of Brighton, they've had a very even season so far in the league. They've won 3, drawn 3, lost 3. They scored 14, let in 15. So sitting in 13th. So in terms of any noticeable results, they beat Chelsea away 3-1. They beat Newcastle at home 2-1, and they beat Man City at home 2-1. But then they drew against Fulham, lost against Everton, lost against Bournemouth, drew against Wolves, and then they and then got spanked by Man United 4-2. That was just 4-2 at the weekend. So blow hot and cold. They in the EFL Cup, they've won both their games away 6-0, but one against Barnsley, one's against Oxford United. So I'm not too sure what approach they'll have. Looking at the teams that they played against Barnsley and Oxford, but it is Barnsley and Oxford. I think they were playing reserves, but then again, when you look at Brighton's team, you have no idea who any of the players are because they're so used to bringing in new players. Is that a first teamer? Is that a reserve player? Apart from Milner, you don't know if I'm never overly familiar with their lineup, and they're always bringing in players. So are those fringe players? Are they starters and stuff like that? So you never know. They don't have Europe, so they could go strong. They could take this one seriously, but then again, they might also want to focus on their league form. I don't know who they've got at the weekend, and I'll quickly just have a look. But do you think they'll go strong? Do you think what do you think their approach will be?
Yeah, Brighton are I'm surprised that they are so kind of low on the table. I was expecting them to be a bit stronger this season, but they are one of those teams kind of like Crystal Palace who could go on and win a cup. You know what I mean? We know they're adept, as you say, at signing players for 13 million quid and selling them for 70 to Chelsea. So they are capable of going on a run in a cup like this. So maybe they would look at this. I think they're safe in terms of they're not going to go down. There's too many really poor teams in the Premier League, and maybe they'll keep an eye on trying to get into Europe, but they'd want to book up their ideas if they want to do that and stop losing to really weak teams like Manchester United. So maybe they might have one eye on this cup as a potential bit of silverware and a bit of glory for the fans. So, but you wouldn't know. You just wouldn't know because the owners of clubs want the money, don't they? They want the European qualification. They the prize for winning the Carabao Cup is probably a case of Carabao drink. You know what I mean? That's no use to a club. But I don't know. I don't know how they're gonna approach it.
They got Leeds at the weekend, then followed by Leeds at home, then followed by Palace away. So you'd expect. Well, Leeds are 1 point behind them, so they're playing teams in and around them. Then after that, they've got Brentford at home and Forest away, but that's after the international break. So important games for playing against teams in and around them. You're right; they're like about 3 points off. Liverpool and Villa in 7th and 8th, and 2 off Chelsea. So yeah, you're right. It's hard to tell. We played them in the FA Cup a couple of seasons back, and we lost. Was it 3-1? In the FA Cup, November 9th of November 2022. So similar stage as this season. I'm guessing they sort of seem to have been a bit of a bogey team for us. Like we drew both games last year, following shocking refereeing decisions. We've beaten them away. Then they will also beat us 3-0 at home. They've beaten us at home 2-1, 3-1. So yeah, it's been sort of a bit back and forth. Then it's not one of these teams. Oh, we always do well against them. Always tricky opponents. Welbeck coming back to Arsenal. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it turns out. They might have a few injuries, like March is out. Matoma might be out. Hinselwood, Gruder, Webster. Yeah, these are all names, but I'm not really too sure about them apart from Matoma and March. So yeah, let's just see. So what's your prediction then for the game?
I'm gonna predict. Based on me thinking that we'll rest a lot of players and that they could go strong. I'm gonna go with a 1-1 draw, and we'll beat them on penalties.
Wow, 1-1 and then penalties. Okay. 1-1 only counts for the predictions competition. Right. Okay. Cool. And then win on penalties. Okay. I'm going for 2-1. I think we'll finally let in a goal. It would be brilliant if we just changed the whole back five and we still did not let in a goal. that would be fantastic. But I think we'll finally let in a goal, and I don't mind if we let in a goal, but we're in 2-1. So.
And Danny Welbeck always does well against his old teams.
Yeah, exactly. So let's hope he's on the bench. Right. Okay. Well, there we go. Okay. Thank you, Ian, for that. I appreciate you coming on this fine Monday. Hope you enjoy the rest of your bank holiday in Ireland.
Yeah, no bother. I will do. Thank you very much for having me, Tabs. It's always a pleasure to come on.
No, good. And where can people find you on the socials and what you do?
You can find me everywhere at Art Cannon Pics, where you can send me pictures of your cannons that you see when you're on holiday, or maybe you live nearby one. And we're absolutely flying. We're heading towards, by the end of this week, we'll have hit our 700th cannon milestone. So
wow.
I'm on the road to 1,000. I've posted a cannon for something like 160 days straight. I've about 90 cannons in my drafts ready to go. My dream is to post a cannon a day for a whole year. So I need your support, guys. Keep sending those cannons to me. So yeah, that's what I do.
Good, very good. Okay, and you can follow us at the Grove AFC at Threads, Blue Sky, X, TikTok, Insta. What else is there? YouTube, whatever you want. Smoke clouds, whatever it wants. Carrier pigeon, just put at the Grove AFC and it will find its way to me. Our next show will be post glorious cup victory against Brighton Hove Albion, and then pre-Burnley away, which is at the weekend. As I said, if you can like, subscribe, leave us a rating on the podcast apps, that would be really appreciated. Get this into the ears of the less fortunate than yourselves, and there we go. So thank you for being here, thank you for listening, and as always, until the next time, come in you Gunners.